Chaos Fusion for the SS gloves in Survivor.io just came out, and they're looking really good depending on the resources that you have. So let's take a look at the new skills, the new attributes, and what people are saying about them. Before we start the video, you might be looking for an answer on whether or not you should use Moonscar Bracers, how much you should forge and fuse them, and what other SS grade equipment you should use. The answer isn't so clear-cut. Every player is different with different collectibles, different resonance, and different survivors. If you want to know what's best for you, I've added a link down in the description that can help you build the perfect setup based on what you already have. To unlock Chaos Fusion, you need to astral forge equipment to 3 stars or higher. The more you forge, the more Chaos Fusion you can unlock. With the new Chaos Fusion of Moonscar Bracers, you're going to unlock new stats. We have max level +5, fair judgment, defeat 100 enemies or trigger 1 eternal laser to gain 20% shield damage boost for 30 seconds. Re-triggering this effect refreshes duration. As you see at an eternal grade, we have Light's Judgment. Fires 1 eternal laser every 10 seconds. Marks 1 boss 10 seconds before firing and enters charging attack state. During this time, 100% of total damage dealt to boss is converted into charging damage and will be fired in a single laser when the charge phase ends. So with Moonscar Bracers, you're going to fire off a laser, and you can see when that laser is going to fire off, when it's going to charge, by watching the meter under this icon. So once it charges, it will reach 10 seconds, just like that, and you'll see a laser hit the boss. So when this laser is triggered, you will gain a 20% shield damage boost for 30 seconds. Next, we have max level +5, crit damage +20%, max level +5 once again, and battle trance. Upon entering battle, crit damage +120%, crit rate +40%. Both stats decrease by 12% crit damage and 4% crit rate per second. Effect resets every 10 seconds. So these gloves are all about crit damage and crit rate, if you haven't noticed before. But upon entering battle, you're going to increase your crit damage by 120% and crit rate by 40%, but that will decay over time. Next, we have max level +5, damage to poisoned targets +30%, and max level +10. At the bottom, when they're fully forged, we have perfect form. Defeat 100 enemies or trigger 1 eternal laser to remove battle trance's decay effect. Also gain 20% shield damage boost. So when you max this out, you will remove battle trance's decay effect, which is the decay effect right here of battle trance. Both stats decrease by 12% crit damage and 4% crit rate per second. With the inclusion of new Chaos Fusion, we are also going to get new Chaos Fusion power effects. These are the attributes, the stats, the skills that you gain from using Chaos Fusion across all SS grade equipment that can be fused. So at 39, we have Nexus Fusion. When own crit damage exceeds 50%, gain 30% additional skill damage. When skill damage exceeds 50%, gain 30% additional shield damage boost. When shield damage boost exceeds 50%, gain 30% additional crit damage. As I said before, these gloves are all about crits, crit damage, and crit rate. At 42 stars, we have Starry Stairway. When own crit rate exceeds 50%, Chaos Wind gains 10% damage. When crit rate exceeds 100%, Chaos Wind gains 20% damage, plus 10% damage to allies and bosses. And finally, at the bottom, at 45 stars, we have Sanctus Sword. Flux Twin Edge evolves into Sanctus Sword. Chaos Wind evolves into Flux Striker and inherits Chaos Wind's effects, plus 10% damage boost to elites and bosses. When Blink is active, -1 second basic attack interval effect becomes Flux Striker count +2. Sanctus Sword damage +60%. Shield damage boost +20%. So the new Chaos Fusion power is actually really insane. You're going to get a Holy Sword, they call it, and this sword's going to swipe at enemies and then eventually launch a bunch of additional swords at it, like homing missiles. Of course, I have not unlocked it. This thing's for whales, but it's a really cool thing to see in the game. So all these new stats make the gloves really strong for a lot of players. When I use a damage calculator, it often recommends to upgrade the gloves as much as possible. Look at this. But this may not be the best route for everyone. Even if an online calculator suggests one path, you should always test different setups until you find what works best for you. Players have been reporting higher damage in Ender's Echo. They're getting more medals in Lunar Mine Expedition. Some are even saying it's the first time these gloves have been worth investing in. You might still be better off focusing on other SS grade equipment first before you get the Moonscar Bracers, like the Twin Lance Weapon, the Stardust Sash, or even Glacial War Boots. But Moonscar Bracers are definitely starting to find their place. In the end, whether or not you should use them depends on you and how many resources you have. I recommend using a damage calculator to explore different options and get a good idea of the best path that makes the most sense for you. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Don't forget forget to like the video and subscribe for more Survivor.io content.